You left. You made the decision. You ended it. And for a moment, maybe a few days, maybe a few weeks, it felt like it was finally over. And then your phone lit up. One message, maybe an apology, maybe just your name. And something inside you, something you thought you had buried, moved. Here is what nobody prepared you for. That feeling was not love pulling you back. It was a trap, closing again. And the terrifying part? It was designed to feel exactly like love. Most people think a narcissist is simply someone who is arrogant, someone who talks too much about themselves, someone a little difficult. That framing is comfortable, and it is completely wrong. A narcissist is not a personality quirk. It is a psychological operating system, one built entirely around control, supply, and survival. And you were not in a relationship with them. You were inside their system. And here is what makes that system so difficult to escape. It does not need your love to keep running. It only needs your attention, your reaction, your presence, even your anger, even your tears. Any response confirms that the system still works. Which means the moment you went silent was the exact moment they needed to bring you back. And they knew exactly how to do it. Psychologists call it narcissistic supply. Think of it like fuel. A narcissist's ego cannot sustain itself from the inside. It has no internal source of stability. It needs constant external input, admiration, attention, emotional reactions, proof that they matter. And here is the part that should make you stop and think. You were not randomly chosen. Narcissists are extraordinarily skilled, often unconsciously, at identifying who will give them the most supply. Empathetic people, people with strong loyalty, people who believe deeply that love means never giving up on someone. Does that describe you? And if it does, that is not weakness. That is your capacity for love, for loyalty, for seeing the best in people. Those are strengths. They were just weaponized against you. Then you were not a victim of bad luck. You were selected because you offered something most people cannot, an almost unlimited willingness to try. And a narcissist does not abandon a resource like that. Not completely. Not ever. But here is what they do instead. And this is where it gets darker. There is a term in psychology called the Hoover maneuver, named after the vacuum, because that is exactly what it is. They disappear. You begin to heal. Your guard drops, maybe for the first time in months. And at that precise moment, they reappear. Not randomly, precisely. An apology that sounds different this time. A moment of vulnerability you have never seen before. A memory of the version of them you fell for. The warm one. The one who made you feel chosen. Your brain does not hear manipulation. Your brain hears, maybe this time is different. It is not. What you are witnessing is not a change of heart. It is a change of strategy. The goal is identical to what it always was: to restore access, to turn the supply back on. And the cruelest detail?
They do not even need to be aware they are doing it. For many narcissists, this behavior is completely automatic, as natural as breathing. Here is what it looks like. You went no contact for 3 months. You changed your number, blocked every platform, started to breathe again. Then a message arrives, handwritten, or just 3 simple words. I miss you. Your hands shake. Old memories flood back. The warmth, the laughter, the person you thought you knew. That message was not love. It was a calculation. Ask yourself, when did they come back? Was it random? Or was it right when you started feeling stronger? Which brings us to the question nobody asks, and the answer that will change how you see everything.
Why do you keep going back? You know the pattern. You have seen it before. And yet, logic fails. Every time. Because what you are experiencing is not weakness. It is biology. Research in behavioral psychology shows that intermittent reinforcement, the unpredictable cycle of reward and withdrawal, creates stronger psychological bonds than consistent love ever could. Think about that. Inconsistency is more addictive than kindness. The coldness, then the warmth. The disappearance, then the return. Each cycle did not weaken the bond. It deepened it. Your nervous system went through something genuinely traumatic, and it adapted. It learned to associate relief with their return, to associate their presence with safety, even when their presence was the source of the danger. This is called trauma bonding, and it is not a character flaw. But here is what you need to hear directly. You are not addicted to them. You are addicted to the version of them that appeared in the good moments. And that version, I will say this plainly, was a performance, carefully constructed, strategically deployed, withdrawn on purpose to make you chase it. You were chasing something that was never fully real. Here is the final piece, and this one reframes everything you thought you understood about why they came back. Narcissists maintain what psychologists call a supply radar. They track, not always consciously, through mutual connections, social media, small signals you did not know you were sending. They know when you are doing better. They feel when you are beginning to move on. And your healing is not invisible to them. It is a threat. Because if you genuinely move on, it destroys their narrative, the story they tell themselves that you cannot function without them. They don't miss you. They miss what you provided. There is a profound difference, and your healing depends on seeing it.
So they return, not because something in them changed, not because they finally understand what they lost, but because your freedom is evidence their ego cannot accept. It was never a return of love. It was a defense of ego. And now you know the difference. So what do you do with all of this? One thing, not 5, 1. You remove the supply. Completely. Not because you are running, but because you now understand what every response costs you and what it gives them. Every reply, every explanation, every final conversation hands them confirmation that the system still works, that you are still reachable. Silence is not weakness. Silence is the withdrawal of the one thing they came back for. And yes, it will feel impossible at first. Your nervous system will scream for closure, for one last conversation, for proof that you mattered. That scream is not love. It is withdrawal. And like any withdrawal, it gets quieter. Every single day. The pull you feel to respond, that almost physical urge, that is the trauma bond talking. It is not your instinct. It is their programming, still running inside you. Recognize it, and do not feed it. You now know the mechanism, the supply system, the Hoover, the trauma bond, the radar. You know why they came back and exactly what it meant. That knowledge is yours. It cannot be taken. This video described something you have lived. Stay with me. Because in the next video, we go into the technique narcissists use to make you question your own memory, your own perception, your own sanity. To make you believe that you are the unstable one, the problem, the sensitive one, the one who cannot be trusted. It has a name. And once you know it, you will never let anyone use it on you again.
Subscribe now. Every video on this channel exists for one reason: to give you the kind of understanding that protects you for good. See you in the next one.